Hi everybody, I'm Beth Yeaton, and this is my presentation. I chose to do it on physical wellness. You'll have to bear with me. I had a cold and I lost my voice, which is why it sounds like this. So, wellness is more than just a lack of illness. Jay Stanford put it really well when he said health is a state of body, wellness is a state of being. Wellness I would define as a multidimensional state of being that encompasses our whole being. The UNH's Wellness Office defines wellness as an active process through which you become aware of and make choices towards a more balanced life. The office goes on to further state that wellness must be a conscious, self-directed, and evolving process of achieving your full potential. There are 8 facets of wellness, which I think we would all know. There's social, spiritual, financial, occupational, intellectual, environmental, physical, and emotional wellness. The one that I want to touch on today is physical wellness, and I would even go so far to argue as physical wellness is the most important facet that makes up a balanced life. Physical wellness is just so key to living. Virgil, I think it was credited as saying that the greatest wealth is health, and I would definitely agree with that. In this presentation, I want to look at the factors of physical wellness that we can control, not the ones that we can't control, like hereditary disease or disability or something like that. From here on out, I'm going to refer to it as physical wellness, but I mean the factors that we can control, not the ones that we cannot control. Physical wellness has 3 major factors: sleep, exercise, and nutrition. The first one is sleep. It's so important to physical well-being. Dr. Bert Jacobson is the author of the new study called Grouped Comparisons of Sleep Quality for New and Personal Bedding Systems. And he affirms that sleep is very important to well-being when he says, sleep deprivation impacts us physically, which can negatively affect our coordination, agility, mood, and energy. Some people have chronic sleep issues like sleep apnea, insomnia, chronic fatigue. These issues are definitely prevalent, and if they're unchecked, they can cause major issues in other parts of the person's life, such as social, occupational, emotional wellness. If you definitely have one of these issues, I would definitely suggest seeing a doctor who specializes in sleep problems. I actually know several people who have had sleep apnea whose lives are actually drastically changed now that they have a CPAP sleep breathing machine to use while they sleep. So that can definitely help. Getting enough sleep is proven to improve memory. It supports metabolism function, helps your immune system, increases focus, improves your emotional well-being, decreases car accidents. There's just so many benefits to having enough sleep. There's lots of ways to improve your quality of sleep, even if you can't actually increase the quantity of hours that you sleep. I know that I have a lot going on, so a lot of times it's really hard to get enough sleep. One way that you can reduce issues while you sleep is by actually changing the light on your phone. We have blue light that comes out of our phones or tablets or such things like that, and at night your body produces melatonin, but if you see the blue light, it actually decreases the melatonin production in your body. So there's different apps. One's called Flux and one is called Twilight. I think Twilight is for Android. Those apps that you can use to they change the color of the light coming out of your phone so that you can help your melatonin levels. Another way that you can improve the quality of your sleep is if you track your sleep cycles. Our actual night of sleep goes through several cycles. Typically we first hit the non-REM sleep when there's like 3 different stages of non-REM sleep that you go through, progressing into deeper and deeper sleep until you hit REM sleep, which is that rapid eye movement. That's the one that we dream a lot in. And your body goes through several full cycles of this during a night of sleep. And if you wake up during one of those cycles, instead of getting through a full one, you'll be really tired, and it's better to get through a full cycle. So again, there's different apps that you can use to help with that. that kind of actually track your body's movements through. It's kind of weird, but they listen. It listens to you through the microphone or tracks your breathing and all sorts of different things to help figure out what a good time to wake you up would be when you're closest to actually waking up. So that app is called Sleep Cycle, so it's definitely worth checking out. Another factor of physical wellness that definitely affects everything would be exercise. Exercise has so many benefits. It can increase your life expectancy, can affect your emotional and mental wellness. It can promote self-confidence. Like I said in the slide, your body is a temple. Do treat it as such. Mayo Clinic gives 7 benefits to regular physical activity. They say it can help control weight, combat health conditions, improve your mood, boost your energy, can improve your sex life, promote better sleep, and can be even fun and social. As you can see, the benefits are kind of endless. The Wounded Warrior Project actually uses physical activity as a way to help veterans. They have different health and wellness programs that use physical activity to help the wounded veterans recover and cope. Their website says that these programs are designed to reduce stress, combat depression, and promote an overall healthy and active lifestyle by encouraging participation in fun and educational activities. There's a lot of health disorders that can come from lack of exercise. You can have joint problems, weakness, obesity, heart disease, just to name a few. Our bodies are not designed for inactivity. The Johns Hopkins Medical Center states that lack of physical activity is shown to be a risk factor for cardiovascular disease, coronary heart disease, high blood pressure, anxiety, depression, cancer, and obesity. And there's so many more too. Just our physical health in general is just so dependent on exercise. The Mayo Clinic recommends aiming for 150 minutes each week of moderate intensity exercise or 75 minutes each week of high intensity exercise. You don't have to start that big. You can start small. It might be something as small as just waking up 15 minutes early to take a short walk before you go to work. So really anything we can do to help will definitely help with exercise. Our bodies, like I said, are not designed for inactivity. We were meant to move. And the last factor that affects physical wellness is nutrition. And I would argue that this is the most important factor in all of physical wellness. I know a guy that I go to church with, he, for his whole life, struggled with weight, even though he's super into like mountain biking and very, very physically active. He has a computer job, but his hobbies are very physically active. But his whole life he struggled with weight until that he realized that it wasn't the exercise that was the problem, it was nutrition. Once he figured out nutrition is really the big thing that helps you lose weight, he lost like 100 pounds within like a year or so in a healthy way. And he will be the first one to tell you that exercise doesn't help you lose weight if you don't eat right. So the issue with eating healthy is that people don't understand how food actually works. And I am definitely one of those people. I would look at labels and I would see things like carbs and calories and fat and protein. And I didn't know how any of them worked together. I knew that protein was good and fat was bad or whatever, but, which actually isn't always even true. But I didn't really actually understand how that affects your body. I read a really good article on bodybuilding.com, which really helped me understand basic nutrition. So I'll give you a rundown of that. So a calorie is a basic unit of energy. In nutrition, a calorie refers to 1 unit of energy consumed, and in physical activity, a calorie refers to 1 unit of energy expended. Carbs, fat, and protein are all nutrients that we consume that have differing amounts of calories in them. Protein is the first one. It has 4 calories per gram of protein. And our body uses protein in a bunch of different ways. The first would be to carry out functions necessary for life, such as replacing cells, building muscle, skin, nail tissue, stuff like that. A second thing that the body uses protein for is storing it in fat, or the last possible thing it would use it for is to use it as a last-ditch energy source. If the body had no more fat or carbs to use, it would start to break down muscle to get to the protein. Our bodies can't produce some of the amino acids that make up protein. Protein is made up of amino acids, so we actually have to eat it in our diets, which is why protein is so important. If our body doesn't have enough protein, it'll break down. It'll start to break down muscle to get what it needs for its daily protein intake. Again, that's why it's so important to have protein in your daily diet. To get enough protein, the authors of Understanding Normal and Clinical Nutrition say you need to take your weight in pounds, divide it by 2.2. That'll give you your weight in kilograms. Then you multiply it by 0.8, and the result is the number of grams of protein you should eat per day. Carbs are another nutrient that our body needs. The carbs are the nutrient that the body goes to first in order to digest energy to perform any physical activity. All of our cells in our body depend on glucose, which is what carbs are made up of. There are two different kinds of carbohydrates. There are simple and complex. Complex carbs are the good ones, such as bread and pasta. They're digested much more slowly than simple carbs. Simple carbs would be like sugar, soda, honey, stuff like that. They have the same amount of calories as complex carbs, which would be 4 calories per gram, which is actually the same as protein as well. But simple sugars instantly boost your blood sugar, but then they metabolize very quickly. So that means your body kind of starts to sugar crash, and it looks for more to keep the blood level sugar. So that can result in, obviously sugar crashes, food cravings. That's why complex carbs are better than simple carbs, because the body digests them more slowly, which keeps your blood sugar steady. Fats is the last one. They have a pretty bad rap in the nutrition world, but they're really actually essential to life. They give us energy to do physical activity. They protect vital organs. They cover nerves. They keep us feeling full longer. They regulate our body temperature, and so many more things. They do lots of things. They have 2 times as many calories per gram than carbs and protein. They actually have 9 calories per gram, which means actually they're a great energy source. But too much of them obviously can lead to weight gain. Same can be said for protein and carbs as well. Fat is the last nutrient that our body goes to during digestion. This is a good thing because it keeps us feeling fuller longer, like I said. That bodybuilding.com website recommends that 30% of our daily intake of food should come in the form of fats. Overall, knowing each of these nutrients and what they actually do can definitely help us make better food choices. Too much of any of them can lead to a bad diet and health problems down the road, but it's just all in moderation. Everything should be in balance. So if we eat the right amount of each, our body should be able to stay in proper harmony, which is, essential for well-being and wellness. Better nutrition is instrumental in wellness. I really think it is the most important part of physical wellness. It can help with our clarity of thought. The amount of food we eat, if we stress eat or stuff like that, it can keep us feeling full and help us lose weight. So hopefully this presentation has been informative. Thanks for bearing with my voice. Wellness is just such a complex issue, but if we make lots of small changes, they can lead to a big result. And isn't that what wellness is all about anyways? Like I said, wellness is an active process through which you become aware of and make choices towards a more balanced life. That's what the UNH Wellness Center says wellness is defined as, which is so true. So like I said, if we make lots of small decisions, just little changes like all those, different little apps that I had suggested, or the food, that can really lead to a big result. So, all right. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a